And my joy and love and what we do is really love helping people figure out what that looks like. And then I love the fulfillment side of it and the product formulation side of it. So once you test and now you're incubated in our industry, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure that you're happy, my lab's happy, and as a customer, you're being fulfilled. So everything works. It's a win-win.
Tell us a little bit. I always like to start out with we have a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, whatever company, just so that the people that are watching, listening can say, okay, that's somebody that is where I want to be or has done significant things. Where are you in your journey on the 7-8-figure?
8-figure business.
Okay, great.
Year 18 of running a company.
Okay.
So it's been interesting.
That's awesome. So will you tell us a little bit about the company first, and then we can kind of figure out how you got to where you are now?
Perfect. It's Ship Offers. We're a logistics and fulfillment company. Help you also source products depending on if it's survival, if it's books, if it's a supplement, whatever you have as a need, we can specifically help you get there. And then partners, strategic partners around traffic and marketing and all that good stuff. We bring it all together. We're based in Colorado, kind of central. Now getting to what this industry has really showed us. If Amazon's out there getting packages second day, now they're talking about 1 day. Now they're talking about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about, oh, you ordered it, here it is. We're talking about, there's some things in our business that we need you to be paying attention to. So now we're opening and looking at new locations and trying to grow and globally, help you get that product there in a day or two.
Yeah, that's it's amazing what they've been able to do and the costs that it takes for a smaller company. And by smaller, I mean you didn't do 140 billion last year in North America. I don't think.
No.
So it's tough, right? Because they've got all these resources and everything. But you do more than that, and I really think it's cool. And I want us to brainstorm how we get this message out better, because you actually help somebody that comes and says, hey, I want to sell something. I'd like to be in business. I'd like to have an online business. And you're not selling you're not promoting this at all, but it's pretty freaking awesome that you get people that come to you that have some money and say, how I'd like to do this. I'd like to go into business, because you already have all the bits. You're like a Lego guy, you got all the blocks that fit together. Would you talk about that just a minute and give me an example? So if I came to you and said, Tony, I don't know anything about this whole world, but you know everybody. I do have some money I'd like to invest. What would you tell them?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, my first question is, how much money can you throw at it and not get a return on?
Okay.
And, someone will say, I got $100,000 to $200,000 to play with. I'm like, all right, let's start there.
And when you say not get a return on, what does that mean?
It means you could totally lose. It goes sideways, and you're,
it's money
basically
that you're willing to invest with significant risk of possible loss.
Yeah, and I and Vegas for a weekend. Right. You go to a blackjack table, how much could you lose and feel like it was no big deal?
Not that you would do that, but
it's
that
the idea that you
it.
have to have.
Right.
Because the people that I play with in this arena are good, but they can't predict what Google's going to do or Facebook's going to do or Twitter or any of these places. So by tomorrow it could be all gone. The industry completely took a shift. So what we like to do is sit down and brainstorm things that you're passionate about. And then from there, I'm going to sit back and we're going to test for a little bit, research the data and figure out, okay.
Now, when you say you're gonna do that, so I don't have to worry about it?
You don't have to worry about it. That's
because I don't want to do it.
I want you just to do what you love, which is you got money and you want to invest and you want to come back and make sure there's a good return. Okay. That's really what you want to work on.
Now, do I own this? Do I own my company?
It's 100% yours.
Okay, so you're not taking equity?
No, and my joy and love and what we do is really love helping people figure out what that looks like. And then I love the fulfillment side of it and the product formulation side of it. So once you test and now you're incubated in our industry, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure that you're happy, my lab's happy, and as a customer, you're being fulfilled. So everything works. It's a win-win.
So one thing that you also said, because you do this and because you have product on the shelf that I thought was really, really cool, is if things don't work out and I bought $20,000 worth of XYZ pills, you actually said you don't promise, obviously, because there's no guarantees, but you actually very frequently, almost always, are able to have other people who are selling that kind of stuff take it off your hands. And so there's no inventory loss, which is huge, right? I know one of Ryan's friends wanted to do lighters, and it was like, a $5,000 order to this company in China. And if he didn't sell the lighters, congratulations, you have a pallet full of lighters. But that doesn't really happen in this business, right?
No, not in the supplement space. But I will tell you, I run a warehouse, and Ryan and I were talking at break about, I have pallets and pallets of backpacks for marketers who pre-bought.
I wish I'd have known this when I got all the backpacks just recently. That would have been good.
And they bought it all needing the inventory.
Right.
But then the wind changed. And those backpacks are now like everybody else's backpacks.
Right, exactly.
So imagine if I took that risk away from you in the supplement space.
That's pretty cool.
And you didn't have to worry about it. And all you really had to focus on was what there was. And I watch the trends, and I'm never a believer to catch the current wave. Mm-hmm. So back in the day when I used to boogie board or surf, you're sitting on your board and the waves are coming. Everybody's like, I want to go paddle for this board. I'm like, I'm not. And people would go, why? And I'm like, because time tells me that the waves will be better if I am patient enough. And everybody wants to jump in the latest trend, but I'm like, the wave's coming. The set is unbelievable. My friends are all passed out against the rocks. They're all tired. They got beat up. They were drowning because they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, no, the waves will come. Will you be patient enough? And so I like to watch trends, not necessarily ride them all the way into the rocks, but definitely be patient.
Wait for the wave. That sounds like a post. I like that.